Hey guys, it's Anya, otherwise known as Pink Sweets here on YouTube, and I'm so excited because we are kicking off my week of Blush Tribe on my channel. So I own a lot of palettes and loose pigments from Blush Tribe, so I'm going to be doing probably I think I have 7 different palettes, but well, maybe 6, and then 1 is like the pigment bundle that I have. But either way, I'm going to be doing a bunch of Blush Tribe videos in a row, boom, 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 boom. And there's a few palettes that I have not used on my channel yet, and there's some that I have used, but I feel like I haven't done like dedicated videos to each individual palette except for a few of them. So we're going to start today with the Munaza palette, which is one of the newer ones to my collection. This is what the outside looks like. And then every Blush Tribe palette has like a sleeve. And then the inside usually matches the outside. And this is the Munaza palette right here. Now for my Earth Day collab with Little Miss Nat, I did use some shades in this palette. I'll link that video up here if you haven't seen it. But I just wanted to do a dedicated video to this palette because it is absolutely stunning. And I think it's underrated because I haven't seen a whole lot of people do looks with it. I've seen a few, but not as many as one would think. So we're going to use this one today, and I'm really excited because I think I want to do a halo eye. I haven't done a lot of those on my channel, but the last time that I did one, it worked out pretty well. I already primed my face with my Revlon Rose Glow Photo Ready Hydrating Illuminating Primer. So I'm going to go in with my eyeshadow primer, which today is again going to be my MAC paint stick. I do sometimes use Soft Ochre Paint Pot from MAC, and I do sometimes use the P. Louise base in white, but I always go back to the MAC one. So I'm going to pat that out. And I really want to use like, I don't know, the blues, the purples, something like that. So that's what we're going to do. And the last video before this one, I did a review or first impressions on the Neon Dreams palette, so I'll link that up here if you haven't seen that. I love that palette, and it was my first time working with the Suva Beauty Hydra Liner. It turned out pretty good. I think it definitely could have turned out better, but we live, we learn, right? And I like that we learn together on this channel. So okay, so what do I want to do? Okay, I think I'm gonna go in with the shade Earth first, which is this one right here, and I'm going to put that on my inner and outer. And I am using the Blush Tribe Quasar brush set that I got sent to me, and I love this brush set. I mean, it's just aesthetically pleasing. Like, all the brush handles look like crystals, just absolutely, what I was thinking in my eye, absolutely gorgeous. And something to note about the Neon Dreams palette is that it did not stain my eyes at all. So that's always a good thing, right? Because I definitely expected the pinks and the purples to stain my eyes, but I wore it all day yesterday, the rainbow look that I did, and it didn't stain my eyelids at all, so that's really good. This is a really pretty shade. And Blush Tribe is so good with both their mattes and their shimmers. I would, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again, I would put them on the same level for me in terms of how much I love them as Juvia's Place. So, and that's saying a lot because you guys know how much I love Juvia's Place. I keep trying to decide if I want to purchase the, what is it called? The Malika palette from Blush Tribe, because I feel like, I think it's the only palette now that they have that I don't own from them. And they're not going to be restocking it. But it's such a neutral-ish palette that I'm like, oh, I don't know if I need it, because I do own a neutral palette from them already, which you guys will see coming up soon. So I'm not going to connect, just like in my last Halo Eye, I explained that I learned that the technique of leaving it open at the top is much better for my eye shape. I had tried it for the first time that way, and I really liked it, because before that I didn't like halo eyes on myself because I thought that they just looked closed off and too dark and stuff like that. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with Medii, which is a beautiful like royal purple. It's this one right here. This packaging is very reflective, as you can see. And I'm going to put that just on the outer portion. Making sure that I leave some of the teal still exposed there. So are you guys doing anything this weekend? I don't know if I told you. I feel like I mentioned it in a previous video, but who knows? I'm supposed to go to the Sheep and Wool Festival with my brother and his wife. As long as I'm feeling up to it. And that is tomorrow. I actually thought it was today, but it turns out I was wrong. And I'm glad that I figured that out. And that was nobody's fault but my own. Like, I just, for some reason, I assumed it was on Saturday. And I would have showed up to their house at 6:45 if I hadn't happened to notice that I was totally wrong on the day. So now I'm going to go back in with Earth. And I'm just going to re-intensify just to make sure I didn't lose that beautiful teal. And just like with Juvia's Place, I feel like Blush Tribe shadows, like the shimmers, don't need to be sprayed, or they don't need a glitter glue, but I always use one anyway, just because that's what I like. Okay, and then we're gonna find my glitter glue. There it is. The NYX glitter glue. There's no reason to spend a crap ton of money on the Too Faced one, because the NYX one is $5 and it's amazing. Just trying to think of which blue I want to go in with for the center, because there are a bunch of pretty ones. So let me grab a flatter brush, or a smaller brush. It's kind of flatter, but it's almost still like a blending brush. And I want to go into the shade first. I think I want to go into the shade Amanda, and then Kimberly, and then possibly Aftab. But I'm definitely going to start. Okay, no, I do not like that brush for that, for this. I'm just gonna stick with the same brush. I really like this one. Yeah, okay, that's much better. All right, I keep trying to like put the mirror the wrong way. I'm like, I can't see if the mirror portion is not facing forward. And I'm just putting a little bit of this shade down. It's like a cornflower blue, I think. I'm gonna use a little bit more glitter glue. And I'm actually going to use my finger because it's either use my finger or go grab a actual flat shader brush, and I don't have time for that. So we're going to go in with Kimberly, which is stunning. And I'm just going to pop that in the center. That's really pretty. And then same thing on the other side. I like that. I need a little bit more over here. And then I'm going to take Aftab, which is the lightest blue. It's like a really icy blue. And I just want to put that a little bit on there as well. I really like this Munaza palette. I feel like I kind of want to add some purple. Let's see if it messes up the look or enhances it. So I'm going to go in with Lubna, which is this beautiful like magenta shade. And I just want to add it, I think only to the outer portion maybe. That's pretty. Okay, I like what that's doing. That's really pretty with the blue. Just wanted a little extra something. If I don't add this to the other side, it won't look as much like a halo eye, but I think I'm okay with that. Because I really like what that did. And I don't want a ton of plain blue looks on my channel because I still have more looks coming with the Certified Affinity 2 palette and the Blue Blood palette. So that's a lot of blue. I'm just kind of bringing it around a little bit. Yes. All right, I'm bringing it around a lot of it. But I really like that. Okay. It's like I just keep going. But that pigment keeps going too. It's like I literally have not dipped again into the palette. I feel like this one little section doesn't want to blend. There we go. Much better. I love blues and purples together. I feel like, okay, we'll fix it. All right, so I'm gonna go remove the fallout, put on my foundation, and I'll be back to do the rest of my face. Okay, so I went in with my Wet n Wild foundation stick, which I really, really love. My Tarte Shape Tape, which I also love. And then I put some Jeffree Star white powder underneath my eyes, basically to hopefully catch any fallout because I'm going to do my lower lash line. So let me put on, I'm trying to see where I put my liner brush. This is Prance from ColourPop. It's just a really pretty baby blue liner, and I'm putting it in my waterline and also somewhat on my lower lash line. Am I recording? Yes. Okay. Oh, for those of you who have been here for a while, if you remember the not Halloween, well, yes, Halloween, but Pinkoween incident, where it was my first time using a wig on my channel, and I was like, okay, I'll be back in just a second with the final reveal with the wig, and then I never came back because I didn't realize that it had stopped recording, and I had to put out like a part 2, I guess is what you would call it, because yeah, I never came back, so that was terrible. So I'm gonna go in with a combination of Medier and Lubna, which is what essentially I have on my outer corner, which is so beautiful. Why does this have a hair on it? Okay. And this palette does have some fallout, but I also like to go in hard with my eyeshadows, and I tend to not knock off the excess. Okay, so this one brush, this is the only one out of the whole set so far, but this one seems to be shedding a little bit, and I don't know if that's, I don't know if that's normal because it's a new brush. I don't remember that happening with other brushes, but the rest of the set does not have that same issue, so I don't know. I'm gonna dust off powder. However, I think I got one of the hairs in my eye, which does not feel good. But I think I got it out. You know how when you have something like scratching your eye and then you still feel like it's there even if you removed it? So now I'm going to go in with the Fair setting powder from Jeffree Star. And I really find, I've tried it with a couple different ways, you know, with the sponge, with the brush. If you want your makeup to be set for life, or at least for the day, going in with a sponge like this and really like pushing it into the foundation is definitely going to do that. So, and if you want it to just last for like half the day, or I mean it'll still last, but like if you want it to be really matte throughout the day, you push it into your foundation. If not, then you can just go in with a brush. This is such a pretty look. I like the Munaza palette. Okay. And like I said, this is going to be Blush Tribe week on my channel. There is one day where I'm doing a collaboration, and that will be on the 8th, I believe. Yes. And this is going up Sunday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, okay. So that will be the one exception. So there will be like a break of no Blush Tribe on the 8th, and then it'll go back to Blush Tribe until I go through all the different palettes. And if you have a palette that you want to see sooner rather than later from Blush Tribe, comment it below. I have the Hasina 1 and 2. The Fall Fusion, which I've done a look with the Fall Fusion and the Hasina 2 by itself, but those were a while ago. I have the Paulina Beauty palette. I have the one that she did with her sister from Certify, which is like a more neutral palette. It's like the perfect bridal palette. And then I have the Munaza, the Neon Dreams, and then the Jungle Bundle, which I might do that fairly soon just because it's new. It's a pigment bundle. So I'm just putting some bronzer on. Oh my gosh, yesterday when I got off camera, like the camera sometimes, I don't have any filters. on anything, but I feel like sometimes it washes me out a little bit, just a little bit. And when I got off camera, it was like my forehead was like orange, and I was like, all right. And I went and looked at my footage, and it was not orange on camera. So to be careful. This is one of those lime crime brushes that I got on Amazon. I mean, it's still sold through Lime Crime, but, well, it's sold through Amazon, but Lime Crime, they're an authorized dealer. That's what I'm trying to say. And then I'm just going to use my Ofra blush and my Ofra highlighter. I'm going to use my Wet n Wild blush brush. No matter what, this is always going to be my favorite blush brush. I have found a few other sets of brushes, as you guys know, that I love, but no matter what, I always go back to this particular Wet n Wild brush. This Ofra blush is very buildable. Like, it's not really pigmented right off the bat, which I know some people really like. So if that's what you like, then this is good for you. I like a very pigmented blush, so I feel like I'm building and building and building, but it's okay. All right, I'm going to use some Morphe setting spray, which I need to order some more, even though I have 17,000 other setting sprays. But I don't know, I like keeping certain setting sprays on hand. And man, this Ofra highlighter, I've been using it, the Beverly Hills one, this one here for my mystery box. I've been using it like non-stop. I need to show some of my other highlighters some love pretty soon here. But I really like it. And it just goes on really smooth, and it's not, it's blinding, but it's just, I don't know. It's more smooth. There's like no harsh line, or, you know what I mean? There's no streak. So I like it. I feel like this is a little messy. I always get foundation in my baby hairs. Can't stand it. All right. I'm gonna do my mascara, which is the same combination. So I'm going to do that off camera really quick, and I'll be right back. It's just the Marc Jacobs and the Bad Gal Bang. Okay, mascara is on. We're going to do lips. So I'm going to use my Scorpio lip liner from Jeffree Star Cosmetics and my Cinderella lipstick from the Princess collection from ColourPop. What was I going to tell you guys? I really like the way that makeup sits on top of the Revlon Rose Primer. I really do. It's not too hydrating, but it's just hydrating enough. And I don't know, I just really like it. It's similar to the Physicians. I already got lipstick on my teeth. Or my tooth. It's like steaming on my tooth. Hello. There we go. It's similar to, I'm gonna have to sharpen this, the Physicians Formula Rose Serum that you can also use as a primer, but it's less expensive, and the smell isn't as strong, and it's also just, I don't know, it's more hydrating maybe. This lipstick is one of my favorites, or this lipstick formula. Even though it's a bullet lipstick, I find that the ColourPop bullet lipsticks just last forever. So I'm going to give myself a couple of spritzes of this, because this is like shellac for your face. And we're done. So this is the final look with the Munaza palette from Blush Tribe. I definitely love it. I would definitely recommend picking this up. I know that right now they're having a 30% off sale. I don't know for how long it goes, but the code is 30 off. But this is definitely a gorgeous palette. I love the front of it, and the shades on the inside are so beautiful, and I can't wait to do more looks with like the more neutral shades and the purples and the yellow and the orange and the red. But I just wanted to create something fun, and originally I thought it was going to be all blue. Did I get mascara? That always happens to me when I spray. I'll get rid of it before I take a picture. But anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you're excited about Blush Tribe Week. I love you guys so, so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.